In this video, I'm going to discuss off-season golf-specific fitness training. And I understand in some parts of the world there is no off-season, but there is times of the year when it's not dark as late, it rains a little bit more. So let's talk about having time to work on your body, which is the number one piece of equipment, and that's the best time to make any type of changes or anything for your body is during the off season and when you're not playing as much. So the first thing we want to focus on is, did you sustain or feel any injuries? Because that's the first thing you need to focus on, because if you don't address those, they're probably going to come back when you start swinging the club over and over if the injury is caused by your golf swing. But what you want to think about is usually where the pain is. So if my lower back hurts, it's probably not because my lower back is the issue. It's 90% of the time it's because my hips aren't turning as well and it's causing more stress on my lower back. Or if I have a pain in my right shoulder blade, it's probably because my shoulder's not moving as well and my shoulder blade has to move more than it's used to. Same thing with the elbow. If you have elbow pain, it's not because your elbow is the issue, it's because your shoulder is the issue, and it's your shoulder is not turning, but your elbow that's only designed to do that is trying to rotate. So you want to address injuries. That could be getting more flexible, it could be getting more stronger, it could be changing something in your swing. So you want to address injuries first. Next thing we want to address is activation, muscle activation. And when we talk about muscle activation, the top number one things are the glutes. Yes, that's the butt cheeks. And then the other one is the core muscle. So the core, I always say, is probably the most vaguely used term in fitness. Some people say the core is from the knee to the chest. Some people say it's just the middle part of the stomach. I believe it's the core is the core of your body, so it's your glutes and your abdominals, or what we call the transverse abdominis, which is the main muscle. It's like a weight belt that goes all the way around, and it's underneath your abdominals that everybody's doing crunches and trying to get a six-pack, when if you can't activate your core, you're never going to use it. So we want to make sure you have good core activation and then good glute activation. That's squeezing the glutes, just holding it, because what happens is your body, if you sit a lot, your body will go to the hamstring or the lower back to do the job of the glute, and we don't want that. We want the glutes to do all that. That's where you're going to get all your lower body stability and a lot of your power from and control in your golf swing. And then the next thing is mobility. So if you have mobility issues, we want to address those. So what does mobility mean? It means basically the range of motion in your joint. So for example, I have internal and I have external shoulder rotation. If I don't have good external rotation in my shoulder, it's going to lead to a big elbow on the top of your backswing. It's going to lead to an over the top because you can't get your right arm on plane. So taking that into consideration, if I have tightness here and I'm like, oh look, my elbow's good, I had to do something with my body that's going to fake that. It's the exact same thing that your body does in the golf swing. If you have a joint or a place in your body that doesn't have a good range of motion to get through, your body's going to try and fake it, and that's where you stand up or you fall forward or you slide or you sway. That's where those things come from. So you want to figure out if you have tightnesses and if they're causing problems in your golf swing, you want to address that mobility. The top three things for mobility are the shoulders that I just showed you, the external rotation in your shoulders, your thoracic spine, how much you can turn your shoulders. So my thoracic is between here and here, so how much I can rotate that thoracic spine. And then the last one on that are the hips. I believe, from my 20 years of working with golfers, I believe that the hips are the most important joint to have both mobile and stable. So what I say when I say that, it's not contradicting each other. You want them to be able to turn mobile, but you also want the glute strength to be able to stabilize them so you can turn them in a good, controlled manner throughout the swing. And once you've addressed these, depending on how serious your injury is, it shouldn't take that long to really work that because you're not swinging the golf club. And if your injury is caused by the golf swing, it's going to be feeling better. Activation should only take 2 or 3 times doing the exercises, and you should be able to get good activation of those. And then mobility takes a little bit longer. I always say it's easier to get somebody stronger than it is to get them mobile, because that's something you have to work on every single day, and you have to be on top of it, and you have to be consistent, and you have to be really bought into the process. But after you've reached all those 3, then you can start working on your strength. So now I'm not worried about my injuries anymore. I know I can activate the right muscles, because when I do strength training, I don't have to think about it. It's just going to happen. And then I'm mobile enough to go through a full range of motion while working on my strength that I'm not going to re-injure myself or injure myself, have a new injury on top of my other ones up here. So when it comes to strength, the top things to strengthen are your core. The other one is your legs. So getting stronger legs, getting a longer, stronger foundation. And then the other one is your glutes. So you can really see a pattern here of the glutes and the core. They're very, very important when it comes to the golf swing. So the stronger you have your glutes, the stronger you can get your core, you're going to have a lot more control and a lot more consistency coming back to the ball every time. So you want to focus on those 3 things. And then upper body is important. And if you're going to work your upper body, you want to work your upper back. Those are the muscles that's going to pull your shoulders back, give you more control in your backswing, and get you turning on a good plane every time you swing the golf club. So we have those, and then if you have time or you get through these things and you're like, okay, I'm ready now we can work on the power. So we want to definitely make sure you're stronger. And what does power mean? Power, we can put speed in here as well, because I think strength plus speed equals power. So if you can get stronger and move faster, you're going to have more power into that. So, but when I work speed stuff, I always work speed in with lighter weight. So I'm moving faster with light weight. And then if I'm working power, I'm moving faster with a little bit heavier weight under a controlled motion. So power would be things like jumping, throwing. You can throw med balls. You can throw med balls are the easiest. You can use other things to throw. I'm not sure what, but heavy rocks, whatever, if you have room. But this is the main thing. So you want to focus on injuries first, then muscle activation, which is going to help those injuries. Muscle activation is going to help you move better mobility-wise. And then once you have all these 3 things, then you can start to work on your strength, speed, and power. So I hope that makes sense. I know I didn't give you sample exercises because I don't understand what's wrong with you watching the video. And what I would recommend is find somebody in your area that can do a Titleist Performance Institute assessment on you. They can assess your mobilities. They can assess those things. If you do have injuries, you want to seek out a medical professional, either a physical therapist or a chiropractor in your area. And if you live in Southern California, we'd love to take care of you with that assessment and a program designed to get you better shape for your next season. So hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and good luck in your next season.